all of you know what we did in the last few years, but this is like a refreshment. Actually, I gave part of this presentation in the AAAS, so Dr. Mohammed Al-Faham knows exactly what I'm going to talk about, but I made some changes. This is my disclosure. I'll talk very briefly about the objective and goals of our institute, how we started, Egypt, planning, Egypt 1 and Egypt 2, where you were part of that, and what's more important is our next steps for RCR in our country and in the region. The education institutes have two focuses. Responsible conduct of science in a way of active learning. This is our aim. How to implement responsibly, how to do our research without plagiarism, without publication, without falsification, what's the mentor-trainee relationship, what's dual use, what's authorship, and more important, in a way of active learning. I recommend for you those two books. I think most of you have the Development Capacity for Teaching Responsible Science, and the AAAS also had about the international engagement. They started even before 2011 by this working group about research in life science, and the committee were from Dr. Mohammed Al-Faham from Bibliotheca Alexandria and Dr. Mona Mustafa from Cairo University. We're trying to have the first education here in Egypt, but in 2011 we have the Egyptian Revolution. So we started, the first one was in Aqaba in 2012. It was for 5.5 days. People from Algeria, Libya, Egypt, Jordan, and Yemen were presented, and it was in Amman and in Aqaba, and partnering with the Bibliotheca Alexandria. I'll concentrate on the Egyptian participants in those educational institutes. From Egypt, in MENA 1, we have 14 participants, 1 committee member, 3 facilitators, 8 public universities, 1 private university, 1 research, Bibliotheca of course, and after we finish the institute, as we did here in Egypt, institutes, there were calls for grants, and from Egypt 6 grants were awarded. The working groups were the same: publication, falsification, plagiarism, responsible authorship, mentor-trainee relation, and research with dual use potential. Followed by the reunion meeting in 2013, trying to have again MENA 2 in Egypt, but we did it in Trieste. From Egypt, 11 participants, 2 committee members, 3 facilitators, 7 public universities, and 3 grants were awarded. And it was time for Egyptian institutes. It was time. Why Egypt? Why our country? We are more than 90 million. In 2010, we were ranked among the top 5 countries in terms of economic growth in Egypt, in Africa. Not only that, we are all over the region. The Egyptians are teaching all over this region. 45% of our population is in the age of schools and universities. We have more than 2 million students in the public universities and more than 60,000 in the private universities, with more than 70 universities all over the country. 73% of our research is coming from the universities. So this is a thing that we have to think about. And I always concentrate here. Since 1965 till 2015, in the last 50 years, on PubMed, you will have 35,000 publications which are Egypt affiliated. I'm talking about the quantity, I'm not talking about the quality. 18% of these publications came last year. Maybe this is an alarm, something happening in our country. So I think we have to start thinking how to work responsibly in our research. From this place, 2 years ago, we had our meeting, exactly in June 2014. Dr. Anastasia was here, meeting with Professor Hussein Isa, the president of Ain Shams, Dr. Ahmed Ahmed, our dean, and now the Minister of Health, Dr. Abdulwahab Azzat, acting president of Ain Shams University, Dr. Gamal Asmat, from Cairo University, Dr. Muhammad Al-Faham from Bibliotheca Alexandria, and we started this institute. We have our planning meeting in this wonderful place, but that we didn't see, as you remember. We were working from 8 a.m. till 1 a.m. in the next day, but at least we saw the dolphins once. And we have our committee, Dr. Abdulwahab Azzat, Dr. Faham, Mona, and Hadidi, Yildiz, and myself. Then we have our reunion, planning for our first Egyptian institute in Amman, and at the same time a reunion for MENA 1, MENA 2. And I think you all remember this picture, those who came in Egypt 1. Yes. In Egypt 1, we have 60 eligible applicants. 25 participants were selected from 10 universities and institutes. These are some of the numbers, the number of applications and number of accepted applications. These are the backgrounds, different backgrounds, science, medicine, pharmacy, with different age distribution. This is the gender. And females were taking the lead, by the way. 13 females and 12 males. This is in Egypt 1. And this was followed by the grants. 14 grants were submitted from 23 applicants from Ain Shams 3, Alexandria University, Cairo University, Damanhur, Hilwan, Mansoura, National Research Center, and National Institute of Oceanography. These were the single grants and joint grants. A total of 14 grants from Egypt 1, where 9 of them were granted. Followed by Second Egyptian Institute in July in Sokhna, and we had a lot of people coming from different universities. More applications, more universities were presented. Different backgrounds. These are the applications, number of applications and number of accepted people with different age distribution. And also we had the gender. In Egypt too were 13 females and 11 males. We need equality, Dr. Muhammad. We're asking for equality. Also 14 grants were submitted from 22 applications. These are the single grants from Ain Shams, Alexandria, Zagazig, South Valley, NRC, Mansoura, and Cairo University. One joint grant between Bani Suef and Ain Shams University. And now we are here in our reunion meeting, where we'll be for 2 days. We are divided into 4 themes, as you saw in the paper that you had. And each presenter will be asked to present his and her work to the highlight and address the question provided to you in our emails. These are the common questions that we're expecting you to answer. And these are the 4 themes that we are looking forward to hear from you. About laboratory practice and dual use, fabrication, falsification, mentor-trainee relationship, and responsible ownership. I will not stop here. I'll ask you for sustainability. And this is very important. This is our aim. Not just to do institutes and go back home and everyone do his routine work. You have to think about sustainability. And this is a key that we are asking you to do. You are our core that will start this. How to implement? This is the question. I forgot about active learning. Let's play. Which way is that bus traveling? Right or left? And why? You can discuss it together, start thinking, and then discuss with your colleague and give me a feedback. We don't have clickers, but let's start. Discuss it, okay? Is it going right or left? So, who goes with right? Let's raise his hand. Right? Who's going with left?
In English it's right.
Why? Going left. Dr. Muhammad Faham is saying left. Who's saying left? Who's saying? Please raise your hand. Okay, because Dr. Muhammad is saying the door is not here. Who's saying it's going right? And actually, the answer is it in Egypt for you? Yes.
Why?
Why? If it is in Egypt, it's going left. Because the driver will be here and the door will be here. If it's in UK, the driver is here and the door is on the opposite
So
side.
if the driver is sitting on this side that way, that's going to this way too?
Yes.
No.
It's not going back. It's not going forward, backward. If the driver is sitting here, so it's going this way.
Oh, so the driver is always on that
Left
side?
side, left side. This is in Egypt.
There's another reason.
Yes.
No, right? This photo is from National Geographic. It's in the US. So they drive the same way. Right?
So if it's in Egypt, it's different. If it's in UK, it's different. And that's what I want to stress upon. You have to know what's your challenges in your country. You have to face it and to think about it and how to implement it according to your situation. Not to the according to the situation in the UK or in the US. We have to understand what are the problems we are facing, like lack of strategic directions, changing key contexts. As exactly Dr. Metini was saying, he came after Dr. Ahmed Ahmad. We have to introduce the concept. So changing key context is a problem. We are not a research oriented. We have a poor data collection, and what's important is lack of leadership and champions. So actually what we are doing that we are starting on different levels. Individual, institutional, governmental, and regional. That's what we are trying. Because it's very important to have a well-trained young scientist with essential knowledge about responsible conduct of research. The president of the academy, Mahmoud Sa, that we hope he will join us, he said that Egypt is among highest in research plagiarism. So we have a problem that we have to face. One of the grants that we did was here in Ain Shams University in 2013 about educational campaign, where my students started awareness campaign and they built a big maze introducing mentor-trainee relationship and all of this stuff, and they trained more than 600 students. Then we gave them a lecture about research misconduct and research ethics and biosampling. These were the lectures. But we didn't stop here. And that's what I hope that you will start as from the grants that you did. We get a publication from this one. And you can find it on PubMed. It's about assessing the level of education of responsible conduct of research among Egyptian medical students. Impact of awareness campaign. We had here more than 17 grants. So I hope that we'll see publications coming from the work that you had did. We recommended that we have to teach our young scientists and young doctors, and what's more important is to provide more opportunities for career development. The workshops you are doing, we're very fascinated about the pictures you were sending us on WhatsApp, that you are doing work, a lot of work, that we will hope to hear it, because we need to grow a research culture in our country. This is very important. On my way to Washington, Professor Lim from Singapore, he gave a very nice statement that I would like to read it. This is not plagiarism, by the way. We needed scientific expertise. The mindset of the workers too needed to change to develop inquiring minds and research-oriented kind of culture. That's how Singapore started. We managed to get a core of maybe half a dozen of good people, the people in front of me. It was like a crystal. Once we were able to get a nucleus sorted out, it grew very nicely. You are our crystal. You are this core. We hope that you will start spreading the word. Engaging the leaders, those from Ain Shams University, we had this meeting in 2015 with Dr. Mahmoud al-Medini and Dr. Abdelaziz, Ali Abdelaziz, introducing the fact, starting using the plagiarism detector now in Ain Shams University and in the Faculty of Medicine to be used for all theses before submission and even all the papers. Having the اللجنة العليا لأخلاقيات البحث العلمي في جامعة عين شمس. It's the Higher Committee for Responsible Conduct of Research in Ain Shams University. Trying to talk with the Ministry of Higher Education and the Academy, because we are looking more for funding. We know all of this work needs a lot of work. We hope to engage more with the Science and Technology Development Fund. Maybe we'll have a law about plagiarism and all of this research ethics. And more important is working regionally. We have a lot of collaborations trying to expand it more with the Gulf area, with Lebanon, Algeria, Yemen. Bibliotheca Alexandria had a lead in that when we have it was 2 months ago, or less, 1 month ago, where we have 44 participants from 4 continents having a small mini workshop with Dr. Faham, Tariq, and Hadidi. And this was actually very nice workshop that we're really proud to be part of that, because we believe in our science. We believe we have to deliver it to our community worldwide, and believe me, we have to be persistent. It's very important, because we need to move forward. Because if you want to go fast, go alone, but always remember, if you want to go far, we have to do all of us. Thank you so much.